Camera B. Green on. Oh, it's a little bit, it's not low enough. I have to be like here. Good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on grows. Feed them horses. Alright, we got 3 pots coming your guys' way. I'm gonna get over there in just a second. I gotta lower this down. I'm kind of surprised. You can even see some little speck over there too. Let's see, where is this? Is it actually just the... Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's a chair. Something. Anyway, I'll see you guys over there in a second. Green off. Isn't this spooky today? I feel like the vibes are spook vibes. Right? Camera C. Okay. Ooh. We got these right here. I'm gonna start off with the least amount of clay first, right? You always start off with the least amount and you slowly build up, right? Maybe not always. Sometimes you gotta switch up the system there, but for now, that's what I want to do. I'm also wondering, I wonder if I can make this, I feel like my green screen, or like my head camera, it's just so bright. Like, don't you guys think it's really bright? So maybe I can add a filter to it. We'll do this right now. Color correction? Sure. And then we're just gonna bring down the brightness. Okay, that's a little bit too dark. Oh, that's too light. Bring the contrast up maybe? No. Let's see. I think this is a little bit more dramatic, right? Dang, I got a lot of people saying hello. Hello? Alright, y'all. I'll take this off. Camera B. What am I making? I'm making some, somebody keeps asking, is it live? It's alive? Is it live? Yes, I'm alive. Right down to the bottom. I pull this up. I'm making more trees. I feel like I need to feel the vibes more. Sorry if you're gonna hear it a little bit louder, but guys, I'm telling you right now, I need to feel the energy. I need to feel the eldritch gods. Why does everybody keep wanting shout outs from me? That's so interesting. Alright, right down to the top. I'll bring this up. I'll bring this down. But everybody, CRD, subscribe to me and he wants a shout out. I'm not that popular yet to do a shout out, you know? Dude, what the heck is wrong with y'all? Look at that, there's so many people. Alright. Alright, so here we go, guys. First thing that we want to do is we got to make sure the base is nice and even. If the base isn't centered, it's going to be bad. Alright, so I'm bringing this up. And imagine those 2 lanes of traffic, right? Slowly going upwards, right? Do I support furries? I mean, I support anybody as long as they're not like pushing their opinions on others. You know what I mean? Alright, right on the bottom edge here. And I'm going to bring this up. Yeah, everybody always says that. Right down to this bottom edge. One more. Then we're going to bring the hammer fist down. Alright. Camera C. Alright, so here we go. How do my parents react when I have a YouTube channel? I don't really know. My dad watches my videos sometimes. But here we are, we're opening up this clay, flattening this top. Slowly pushing my fingers down this middle here. Look for some rabbits, no rabbits, okay. Fill the pond up with some water, you can't have the tadpoles dry out. And I want to cut through this surface as if it was like butter, right? Butter that you left out. Maybe you made toast last night and you wake up in the morning, you have a nice soft butter. There's so many people talking. Someone said, hello, hi Stella. Maybe it's the same Stella I know, really cool. Then 10 people watching my streams. Yeah, I know, usually that's so little. Dang, you guys are doing so much talking. Christian also wants a shout out. You guys are so funny with the shout out. Yeah. So funny. Alright, right down to the bottom. My mom says, no, stop being a Therian. Is that like the animal stuff? I see a lot of animal Therian YouTube things. I wouldn't just worry about it, you know. I mean, you live with your parents, so you gotta listen to them to some extent, you know. But you can't be giving up on things that you think are really important, right? You just gotta make sure that it's not just something that's you're doing just for fun. Like you want to also have it be doing something to. How do I word that? Like for me, pottery's for like it's. I don't really like pottery, right? But I think it helps me progress in my life, right? So you got to stage these things as moments to help progress in your life, right? Bro, you guys, this is so funny. I haven't had so many inappropriate comments in a while. Alright, so again, we're right down to this bottom edge. Alright, and so, camera B. Camera B. Alright, so here we are. We're going to go right down to the bottom, and you're going to pop out this little bump, right? And that's all you're doing, like a slug up the side of the pot. You're going to bring this little bump all the way to the top. And you got to remember, right? Like, people call it a pull, but to me it's more of a lift, right? A pull is a yanking motion. A lift is a lot more, you know, you lift a baby bird up, right? Aya? Sure. Hello. You like chocolate? No, I'm more of a mint person. Somebody's saying something in Russian. There's a lot of Russian people who follow my stuff. How can you do it like for real? Like pottery? I don't know. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Emphasize, emphasize, emphasize. Make sure they're all nice and even there, right? Get ready. And you're going to twist this down, and we're going to make our tree here. Very slowly, pop that edge out. Great. Smooth. Kiss that rim. There you go. You got a tree. By the way, why is so many people saying Drake? Just because when I'm centering, people are being inappropriate. That's okay, though. I think the best thing that you guys can do, you know, is like when people are saying stuff like that, you can't let it, you know, dictate what you do in real life. You know, people are going to say whatever. You just can't let them into your mind, right? You got to be the biggest defender of what you allow into your mind. It's all taking up space in your mental CPU. Right down to the bottom. All right, there's number 1. Camera A. Wedging table. All right, so here's number 1. You guys can kind of see the spiral on the interior. So here we go. Grabbing clay number 2. Somebody said, be honest, how many times do you mess up? I mean, I mess up all the time. I feel like 2 weeks ago I was messing up a whole bunch. Can I have a bite of the clay? You know, so I had somebody whose whole project was to eat 100 pounds of clay, so it was kind of interesting. You know, I need help. How do you know a guy/boy like me? I don't know. I don't really know what that means. The tree looks yummy. The tree is cool. I really just don't understand what that means, to be honest. I subbed. Thanks, Maxi boy. Where is your first tree? The first tree is the one that's right over there. I guess it's above me, right here. Sorry, man. Yeah, you don't insult me. Like, I mess up a lot, really. Like, I have weeks sometimes where I just do nothing, but I'm just messing up all the time. But for me, I mean, you don't have to sub if you don't want to. You know, I'm not one of those people who like sells out for subs. But yeah, no, like I mess up all the time, and it's okay to mess up, right? That's like part of the whole entire thing. Yeah, I feel like it's really the first step to becoming good at something is to mess up at something. Oh, my first ever tree? That's probably on my YouTube somewhere. But yeah, I would say that it's probably last year in July. Someone says they don't want to go home. I don't understand what that means. Are you still talking about the Therarian thing? Okay, 1 plus sub it is. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the best thing you can do when you break something is you can't let that past moment, I think, like, it's even with pottery, like when you're throwing, you can't let that failure bleed into the rest of your day, right? You gotta let it exist, and you just gotta move right past it, right? But here we are, we're centering this. All right, camera C. Camera C. Pushing my fist down. I'm slowly riding that thumb with my fist right to the edge here. And as I'm pulling that clay out to the edge, it's getting recentered to my left hand there. Right? There we go. Alright, right down, some water on the interior here. Taking your fingers, and again, I hook my fingers. I want to cut along this bottom edge. I don't want to push all this clay. It's a lot of clay to move, but if I cut through it, it's like almost like a water jet cutter. You know, a bead of water can cut through steel if it's through a lot of force and in a small area, right? Same thing with clay here, right? So I always try to use my finger as a cutting tool. There we go. Okay, you're gonna grab your llama. Llama is over here. You know what llama loves? Llama loves volcanoes. So we're going to swap over to camera B. Camera B. Llama bites right on that rim. And again, remember those 2 lanes of traffic? Llama's biting and slowly bringing this up, right? Until the llama loves his volcano. So you get your nice little volcano here, right? Again, some water right on the inside here. What you said made me happy. I almost lost. Yeah, I mean, I always think that it's very difficult to sort of understand the way your mind works, but I think that's part of life, is to try to get a grasp on that, you know? And so you can use your emotions as fuel to generate something positive, right? Anyway, pushing this down right on this edge here. I'm defining this little bump. I'm slowly walking this up. I'm thin on the top, so I don't want to do as much. I don't want to push as much on that top edge there. Again, I add some water, collaring this in. And you can see when I collar, I get a bunch of height. My collaring is not just to bring that in, but it's also to get a lot of height, right? And so there we go, we got some height. Again, we're back down to the bottom. We ask the clay, hey clay, you got a little journey for us? The clay says, sure thing, I got a little quest for you. Take this little bump, right? And bring this to the top of the rim there, right? So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna set out on our little journey. We're gonna find some bumps or some obstacles, right? Some thin spots, some thick spots, but we're gonna continue to move forward, right? Be that unrelenting force that just keeps on attacking, right? Get right up to that rim. I didn't waver at all, and then that's how you're gonna keep that on center there, right? Again, some water right on this interior here. Pull this out. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're slowly walking up this twist, right? And as we're walking this up, you're going to see it's wanting to start to twist, right? And so this one looks like it's wanting to twist in that middle. We're also getting kind of thin, so we're going to go back in with our finger with a little bit of water. Be honest, how many times do you rage quit? I rage, but I never quit. Right down to this rim. Pop that edge out. And kiss that rim. There you go. You got a tree. What do you do with the clay after you finish everything? I have it sit around with me. So here, I'll show you this. Camera A. Camera A. All the best and strong mentality. So I literally, after it's done, I just set them in rooms. So I filled up a couple rooms upstairs, and then pottery shelf, yep. And I'm also filling up this room. So I just fill up the rooms, and I don't fire anything. I just let them exist. And then I told myself, if I keep making, one day the process will guide me to the answers, right? And so I just have faith that one day something will happen, and these things will work out, right? But until then, I'm trying to really believe in the clay. Alright, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'm going to twist these up. Wheel. You can see what I'm doing from a different angle here. Somebody says hello. Hello? You're doing well. I'm going to bring these in. Alright, so I'm going to do this. I got to turn off the thing, and then we'll go to Alright, so this is number 2. So you can see we're doing a lot more tendril action on this one. So I'm going to bring this over. And so the first one already collapsed, right? So you'll see that at the end. The first one, it got a little bit thin on that edge, and so it just, water oversaturated it, and it did a water fissure, right? I'm also keeping in mind that there's a sponge here, my wheel is leaking a bunch of water. So I'm keeping that in mind. It's kind of annoying every time I have to move my pots. But, do you make the clay or do you buy it? And if you buy it, how much? Probably about like $18 for 25 pounds. Yeah, all good. I'll see you around. Good luck with everything. Could you do a spiral on your last pot if you want? I love the way they look. I actually have a what are you talking about, a book? I don't know what that means. But yeah, I can do a spiral on the last one. The spirals, they're kind of interesting because what I'll do with the spirals, I use them as a buffer, right? So it actually makes sense because this is this is a thicker amount of clay, right? So again, right down to this bottom edge. I'm going to bring this up. I want to see the book and take pictures. I don't know which book you're talking about. Like my book? I don't have a book yet. The background is a book, right? I want to make a screenshot so I can look for the book. Oh, I have no idea. I don't think it's a book. I think it's just like a random AI generated image. If you can find the book for it, that'd be kind of cool. Again, right down to this bottom edge. Right, and the whole point of this is that you can just tilt this edge, right? And you'll just bring this down. And you have it set back on the center here, get some more water. And again, I'm tilting that forward just a little bit. I'm bringing this right down to this edge here. And I'm having my finger kind of hooked underneath because I don't want it to fold. I want the clay to come from the interior and push its way out rather than folding over itself. Again, I'm pushing this down, around, get ready to pivot that back up. And there you go, right? Okay, now we're putting our fist down. All right. Camera C. There you go. Fist around this top edge here. Getting ready. Clear off that base. Make sure that my elbow's right on my hip bone so I can use it as like a profile tool. Again, so starting from this middle, I'm slowly bringing this out. There you go, you get it centered, okay? Opening this up. A little bit of water on the inside. You make pulling it up look so easy. So it's all about where you're setting your fingers, right? It's not about how much force, really. It's about kind of being firm, like almost like you're taped to the surface, or you lock in, right? And so I think a lot of times people are not really locked in before they start the pull, and so the pull gets off really easily. So that's kind of my key to the pulling, right? Right down to this base here. And I have a lot of like weird clay that I wanted to fold over, so I gotta make sure I get rid of that. You can see it's not perfectly centered here, but that's totally okay. We're gonna take our little llama. We're gonna bite right on this rim. And so people fuss about how uncentered their things are, but in reality, you can pull a lot of the off-centered stuff out of the clay during your pulling, right? And so there I did a llama pull. All right, camera B. Camera B. Okay, knuckle. Right on the side edge here. I'm just slowly walking that clay in. I'm slowly bringing this up. The first couple pulls, don't try to get height out of it. Your aim for the first couple pulls, or the first maybe 2, is to get the clay equal, right? If you can get the clay equal, you're cruising, you're in a good spot, right? How do you do that with the camera? Like when you say camera A, it switches. Yep, so I use a voice commands. So watch. Camera A. Pottery shelf. Camera C. Camera B. So it's all voice activated. Just because my hands are full of clay, so it's like, you know, I had to figure out a way to do that. Okay, I'm pushing this down to find that bottom edge. Again, find a little bump here. That's all you're doing for this, is trying to get these walls equalized, right? We still had some thickness on the bottom, and it's a slightly getting thinner as we go to the top. Perfect, we're gonna lessen up that pressure. Okay, so now we're in a good spot right here, right? I love that Pottery endorses neurological paths for problem solving and positive outlook. No, I totally agree with what you said there. Alright, right down to this bottom edge here. Slowly feed this little bump right up into my hand. That's all I'm doing. Like a slug. We get to this rim, you can feel it wanting to fight. You can even see a little wobble on that top edge there. Okay. Alright. Baobab said, "Wow, cool. Randomly came across this." Aw, thank you. Alright. $100 outside? Oh gosh. Alright, so somebody wanted to see the spiral. So here's the spiral, right? So we're going to start with a spiral. The key to the spiral is to go above. Before it makes one full rotation, you got to go above that second part. And so there's the first spiral, right? We're going to leave it just like that. And so does that make sense? Before one full rotation, you need to slowly bring that up, right? Before it makes one rotation, you need to be above where that next line is, and that's how you really get that nice even spiral. I'm trying to curate opportunities for my friends in law enforcement community service to play with clay. Yeah, I feel like anybody, if they can just experience it, I think that's good, you know? Okay. A little bit of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, we got 6, but we gotta fix that edge there. There we go. And so we really need to thin out the clay here, right? Alright. Right on this top edge. Have your fingers hooked in. And it's going to slowly want to collapse in that interior. Great. Get ready. Pull that out slightly. Slow down. Alright. And then on this one, since we did that spiral buffer on the bottom, we're going to pull out this this bottom here. We're going to make some more like taller tendrils, right? Am I seeing it has some cool feedback experience. I don't know that whole story. I feel like I'm pretty out of the loop with Michigan things. But it sounds interesting. I always think that at pottery studios, you always come across like really interesting stories. I feel like I just like to be like a little fly on the wall whenever I listen to people talk. You see what Ferocious Matt... No, can you tell me what he said? Ferocious Maths said about me? Probably something negative if you're repeating it, right? Oh, wow, interesting. Yeah, of course. You know, I just wanted to do the... I mean, I always do spirals on my stuff, so since you asked, I was like, oh yeah, for sure. Alright. We're gonna do... Maybe we'll do 3 tendrils on this one. Maybe 4, we'll see. I think the key with these is we want to bridge that gap. Right up to the side here. Bring this in. I think that one's pretty stiff straight up. So you know it will mimic that same motion with the rest of them, right? Almost like they're reaching for the top of the pot here, right? Alright, so here's number 3. Music is like spooky jazz. Yeah. I feel like I really like... I just kind of like random stuff. Alright, camera A. Camera A. Oh, somebody said that Oh, you guys are making some fun theories on my pottery. That's funny. I'm actually the pottery car thief. I use clay. It's like my calling card. Like how the Joker would leave the Joker card. I just leave clay everywhere I go. Someone said hi. Yeah, I'm glad you guys got to see a spiral. The spiral was... I used to do a lot of spiral stuff, and then I sort of thought it was... It felt like I was making just spiral pottery that you'd see on like online and stuff. And so then I was kind of getting bored with it, and then I kind of brought it back in a new way, right? Okay, so here we go. I need to zoom this in just a little bit better. Is that a little bit more in focus there? That looks better. Okay. Green on. Hello everyone. We're back again with another pottery review. We'll start off with this one. Somebody asked me to do another one of my spiral trees, so I started with a large spiral. I cut it off about 75% of the way up, and then I did a top tree on this one. I like that this one goes a little bit wider on the top instead of remaining, you know, in that cylindrical format, right? I have 3 tendrils spiraling up the side, and I think that overall is a pretty good pot. Second, I think this one is probably my favorite of the day. There's something, I feel like this one is just very sturdy. It almost feels like a knight or like a soldier, you know, with a big fuzzy hat or something on the top of it. It just seems sturdy. It seems a little bit like wispy, but it seems like it's gonna not fall, right? So I think this one, I kind of like it. It has this like very uniform attitude to it. And then the one on the top, this one is the one that I think I'm least excited about. It's a little bit more mundane and it collapsed on one side, but I always do kind of like the way that you can kind of see up underneath that pot, where it's kind of hard to see the kind of that spiral right underneath that top tree top there. So I think I like that one because it reveals it a little bit more. But thank you guys so much for watching. I guess I'm going to talk a little bit more, so I won't cut it off yet. But I'll say, goated 2. Somebody said, oh, it's so all right. There's a little video for you guys. But somebody said, I'm gonna read these and I'm gonna head off here, okay guys? Somebody said, I gotta go waterbend. Thank you for the trees. Have a beautiful day. Aw, thank you so much. It's a mushroom house. I wanna live inside. That's funny. A lot of people are speaking some languages that I don't understand, but thank you. Yep, no worries. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. The one on the top looks like a mushroom. Yeah, a lot of people like the mushroom one. That's interesting. Again, I'm sorry I don't know what language you guys are speaking, but I really appreciate you, you know. Is it French? J2, no, maybe not French. How often do I stream? I stream every single day, so that's kind of my vibe. But thank you guys, I really appreciate it. I'll check you guys in the next one, okay? Computer? Peace out, guys.